is now my mouth gets to water a little bit. I get excited because this is like fun because we got a lot of lifetimes.
Yeah.
Like I said, you are very at home. You help cross those spirits over.
Mm.
And I know, and it's not a scary thing because they have to be there, but it's really going to resonate with you and you're going to go, oh, fuck, that's what that was. Do you know what entity you kind of are connected to?
I've like a nomad.
A reaper.
Oh.
That's why you felt home. You helped reap people. You helped cross them over. It's kind of like being an angel of death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in a more, reapers are more in a human form where they would appear like, in cloaks or this like that. A reaper can, and they're not evil in any way. People are so afraid of them because they showed with the sin, with the big thing. But they're kind of part of what comes to help cross somebody over. And they are able to appear in different forms, like an angel of death and that kind of thing. And you felt so at home there because your peoples were there.
Yeah.
You really do. And the thing is, you really do walk both sides of the veil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You really are a shadow worker. So that's what you resonate with. You resonate better on the side that's dark versus light because you help people.
Mm-hmm.
You somehow, you have a healer's touch, where you're actually really, really good with people that have suffered some form of addiction.
Yep.
Or depression.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So it doesn't mean you're going hardcore over there, but it means you're able to, people who are just starting to come over that are rising up, you're able to help them. You're able to lay a hand on somebody. And Joss, if you do go see him, at some point at night, maneuver away when he doesn't realize it, maneuver away where you just put his hand on his shoulder or his hand on his chin so he could feel how warm your hands are. You have extremely warm hands, and sometimes they're warmer than others. And that's because you are a healer. What type of photography are you doing?
I do a little bit of everything, portrait, fashion, landscape, product, pretty much anything.
Do you do black and white too?
Yep. I love black and white.
I see a lot of black and white work for you.
Yep. I love it.
A lot of black and white, and I see you starting to catch like a lot of different orbs or other things in the pictures.
Yeah. So for I had a spiritual awakening at the beginning of the pandemic, which just completely opened my everything up. It was documented on camera, and there was orbs all around. Like I captured the exact moment it happened.
But that's because you're a reaper.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Like crossing people over, like there's gatekeepers, but it's a little bit different. And your ability to heal and choose, like when somebody's coming through. And it's really creepy because if you were with somebody and working with them, and this is a big power to have, but you would never just do something like that lightly. If somebody was extremely ill in the hospital and was on the urge of going from one way to the other, you could actually lay a hand on them and say that it's going to be okay, you can go. And they would leave.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So you really can physically cross people over, and it's a huge gift that you have. But that's why you felt at home in the mortuary. But although you see them and you talk to them, they don't bug you for you to give people messages.
No.
It's like you all just kind of work together. Like they annoy the shit out of me and say, well, you got to do, like, I can't go to funerals.
Yeah.
Because I go to a funeral unless somebody really needs me there. I'm like, you can't. If I go there, they're going to start talking to me. Right. I went to a funeral where somebody insisted that I go, and I had a message for her husband, and it's something that he had promised when she was like 15, But then he had this message for a really close friend of theirs that I didn't know. And I was like, no, I'm not going up to her and going to tell her. She's going to freak. She doesn't know me. And then I talked to his wife, who was my friend. She's like, no, you got to go give her the message. So I went over there. I'm like, I'm not a crazy person. They told me that I should give you the message that you were going to be okay. Started giving it to her. She started crying, said, you're a horrible person. How can you do this? I mean, and I was just like, whoa. So when it comes to like going to funeral homes, I like really, unless I'm doing work there, I really try to avoid them because otherwise they bug me, and I can't always tell people a message because people aren't always ready for them.
How I get it is that so I do tarot reading. So I get it through like if they need a message, they ask me to give them a reading. Then there's like pick up your cards and give them a reading, and then that's how they kind of get their message through. I find because I'll just be like randomly, and that's the message I get from them. Now I've also closed myself off quite a bit in taking those messages, because when I do get them, it takes everything out of me.
Oh, it does. It does. It does.
And I get like. If I go into that space, I'm not right for a very long time. So I've closed myself off from that. And then maybe that was because of my experience working in a funeral home that I was able to kind of really shut them down, because it takes too much out of me now to do it.
And you have to understand, like I always tell people, everybody has the ability to do it. Like you opened up because of what you went through. Okay.
Yeah.
It's also because of how old you are, which we're going to do in a second. But some people are meant to do, like I do this for a living. This is my work. Some people, they have the gift and they do it and they share it with people. That's not necessarily what they're meant to do on a regular basis, because it is extremely draining. If you're really somebody who's working with people or healing people, your healing ability, you really need to hone into that.
How do I do that?
Oh my God, we're going to have to talk.
Yeah.
Because even your ability to just somebody who has cancer, and it's just, and you really are, and it's hard because it's so emotional, but you really are connected with people that have serious illnesses. Some of them terminal, where to give them relief, being able to just give them a little bit of relief and peace.
Now, can I go the other way in terms of giving it the life, or is it just
you're not dark. There's nothing about you that's dark.
Yeah.
There's nothing about her.
Flip that into just somebody's dying. Maybe can I bring them back?
Peace. You can bring them back a little bit, give them a little bit of time. You can help somebody else connect through them. There's so many different things you can do. There's nothing dark about what you do. That's why you felt at home where you were here. But you're here for life, and it's a choice. Okay.
Right. I don't think being dark.
You have such an ability. There's nothing dark. When you walk in the shadows, I'm a shadow walker. It doesn't mean that you're evil. It just means the only way you can truly save somebody, especially if they're struggling, and say, not just from demons and ghosts and that fun stuff. That stuff is actually fun for you. That really is. And you have a whole other thing I have to tell you. But it's the fact that my brain went dead because I was going on that other thing. I'm thinking about too many things at once. Oh, it's the fact that for you to help somebody, even when you're doing mediumship work, or I do life path work, or I have to tell sometime, I'm getting how old he is. Cool yourself. Is sometimes you have to be able to walk on the other side of the veil to grab them, to pull them out. You have to be able to see what they're up against. You have to be able to see, okay, is this them and maybe a sickness or a mental illness they're fighting, or is something oppressing them?
Yeah, that's exactly.
So you have to be able to have the strength and the instincts if you're supposed to go down that dark alley for protection. Not many people have that. Like you have all these idiots that, not that I want to say idiots, nobody take offense. A lot of people think they can go ghost hunting.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. We're going to go buy all the equipment, this, and this. So, and then they'll go to the places that are known to be really haunted, and like not necessarily haunted by the good ghosties. Let's just put it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll go in. They won't know how to draw or anything protection around themselves. They don't know what they're seeing, what's feeling. And then a lot of them go in and end up taking something home with them. Yeah. Or a lot of people end up picking up something that will physically harm them. So it's like, for me, ghost hunting is fun. And being able to work something and pull something out of them, it's serious work, but it's work. I get the job done. A lot of the work I do is so emotional with people. So it's just or healing. It's so draining, or it drains you when you heal somebody. This is, you go in, you're a bouncer, you get the job done and you leave, or you cross people over. It's different.
Yeah.
But a lot of people go and they shouldn't be going. Now, the biggest part of it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It really isn't. No. It isn't. Even seances, like I tell people, do mediumships with me. You want to do a seance? You insisted. It's just a family member. It's some people in your family or a best friend. Only people allowed at that seance are everybody that's connected to that person. You are signing a waiver.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't miss.
because I'm opening up the gateway, even though I know how to do them in protection, and I charge an insane amount of money
Good.
because they're so dangerous. They're so dangerous.
Yeah.
But your black and white metaphysical photographs, the spiritual work,
Mm-hmm.
is going to, if you start focusing on that, there is such a niche for that right now.
Like, can you give an example? Like black and white
When
spiritual?
you go if catching pictures, because automatically in some of your pictures, if you look,
Yeah.
especially at the certain exposures, you can see spirits or